Hello friends, welcome to Daring Marana YouTube channel. Today we will be discussing about topping up of reefer compressor oil. So let's discuss about this. How we will be topping up of reefer compressor oil or charging of reefer compressor oil. So let's move in detail. Reefer compressor oil changing. How we will change the reefer compressor oil? First we need to close the condenser outlet valve. Then we need to collect refrigerant in the condenser. So first we need to close the condenser outlet valve and we need to collect the condenser. Then stop the compression and shut the inlet and outlet valve of compressor. So we need to stop the compression and shut the inlet and outlet valve and collect the refrigerant in the condenser. Connect the flexible changing have of the piston to the oil plug filling plug. Connect the flexible changing and have a piston pump to the oil filling plug. Okay. What are the first we need to do is close the condenser outlet valve, then collect the refrigerant into a condenser, so that we have to stop the compression, shut inlet and outlet valve of the compressor, and we need to connect the flexible changing have to the piston pump to the oil filling plug. We have to purge the air and we have to tighten the connection. We have to remove the air from it and tighten the connection. Start filling the air slowly. After filling to the correct level, stop filling and disconnect the hose. Okay, after purging the air and tighten the connection, we have to start filling the air slowly. After filling to the correct level, we have to stop filling and disconnect the hose. Make the system normal. This is what we need to do. Then topping can be topping can be done in two procedures with separate oil pump. Okay, with a separate oil pump means without affecting the operation of compressor. If you use separate pump, then it will not affect the operation of a normal compressor. The oil may be topped up by means of separate oil pump. Yes, without affecting operation of compressor, we can increase by separate pump oil level topped up by means separate oil pump. This pump enable all to be forced into crankcase. So this pump enable all to be forced into crankcase via oil charging valve against suction pressure. So all will be forced into crankcase via the oil charging valve against suction pressure. Okay, topping can be done by the procedure with a separate oil pump without affecting the operation of compressor. Oil may be topped up by means of separate oil pump. So this pump enable all to be forced into crankcase via oil charging valve against suction pressure. So with the crankcase pressure below atmospheric pressure, when the crankcase pressure is below atmospheric pressure, what we will do is we will connect a hose to the air charging valve after removing the cabinet with gasket. After removing the cabinet with gasket, we will connect the hose to the air charging valve. Then fill the hose with oil and immerse its loose air in the reservoir containing a sufficient amount of oil. Fill the hose with oil and immerse its loose and reservoir containing a sufficient amount of oil. We can close the suction stop valve to such an extent that suction pressure fall below atmospheric pressure. We can close the suction stop valve to such that suction pressure fall below atmospheric pressure. Okay, with the crankcase pressure below atmospheric pressure means then we can connect a hose to air charging valve after removing the cabinet with gasket. Then fill the hose with oil and immerse its loose and reservoir containing a sufficient amount of oil. Now after this, close the suction stop valve to such extent that suction pressure fall below atmospheric pressure. This is what we do in the case of crankcase pressure goes below atmospheric pressure. If the crankcase pressure go, there are two methods, means one with a separate pump, the other with separate with a crankcase pressure. If go below atmospheric pressure means we will connect a hose to the air charging valve. Then after removing the cabinet with gasket, then we will using the hose, we will fill the oil with oil and immerse its loose and in the reservoir containing sufficient amount of oil. After having sufficient amount of oil, we will close the suction stop valve to such extent that suction pressure fall below atmospheric pressure. And we have to keep the oil charge valve open as long as the oil in crankcase has attained the required level again, and take care that no air is being drained into crankcase. We have to ensure that keep the oil charge valve open as long as oil in the crankcase has attained the required level, and we have to make sure that no air is drained into crankcase. We can slowly open the suction stop valve in order to prevent liquid hammering. We can slowly open the suction stop valve to prevent the liquid hammering and remove the hose and replace the cabinet with a gasket onto a oil charging valve. So after this, we can remove the hose and replace the cabinet with a gasket onto oil charging valve. We have to note that compressor takes suction via crankcase. So that's why we need to mention that the oil in the crankcase has attained the required level, and we have to take care that no air is being drained into crankcase also. So after this, we have to do slowly open the suction stop valve in order to prevent the liquid hammering and remove the hose and replace the cabinet with gasket onto oil charging valve. This is what we have to do in the case of when the pressure is less than come to the atmospheric pressure. The crankcase pressure comes less than the atmospheric pressure. Thank you.